What's up, guys?
Merry Christmas. Hope all of you are doing well. I just wanted to take this time when all of us have a few hours to share a few things. So last semester, I got the same question over and over and over again. I didn't mind, but it puzzled me. The question was, Israel, what are you going to do after graduation? Are you going to go to law school like your dad and like your sister? Are you going to get a PhD like your mom? And it puzzled me because honestly, the truthful answer was I didn't know. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea. I thought maybe I would go to law school. Maybe I would go and get a PhD. I didn't even know what I would study. I was just trying to make it, make it through the year, honestly. Um, but now that all of it is said and done, and I've had a few much needed moments of clarity along the way, I thought I would set the record straight and say emphatically and clearly what it is I will be doing now that I am officially a Faulkner University alumnus. So I will not be going to law school. I think that my family, the Afangideh family, probably has enough lawyers uh, to take care of us for the next couple of generations. Um, I will not be getting a job. I I will be starting a business, a company called Afangideh Media. This past summer, I started the process of incorporating two companies, and one of them was Afangideh Media. And my family's been asking me to describe it. What is it going to be? And it's tough for me to describe, but the best I can do is I think of it as a marriage between a holding company and a client services company. So the holding company part is some of you might be familiar with the work that me and a few friends did early 2017. We started a project called the Montgomery Insider, or TMI for short, which we thought was pretty clever. Um, what TMI was and is local news, Montgomery news, Alabama news, but it lives purely on social media. It lives purely on this. And it's also not, we also didn't pretend to be um, objective. We didn't try to convince people that we didn't belong to a side. We wrote down what we thought and we were clear about what we thought. Every article you read, every video you watched, anything you saw from TMI, it was clear what the position of the project, what the position of the company was. And um, and we didn't try to propagate this myth of objectivity, which is starting to come apart. Anyway, I won't get too much into that. But I had a lot of fun with TMI, and even though you haven't seen a lot from it recently, it's just because I've been busy with school. And so starting in 2019, I want to really focus in on that. I want to double down on that. I want to move away from um, politics a little bit, just because I think all of us are a little bit sick of talking about politics. I've never made a friend um, based on shared political views. Um, no one really likes it these days. We're all a bit upset with the way things are in America and in Nigeria, by the way. And so I do want to talk about social issues and economic issues, but less partisan issues. Anyway, so I'm going to double down on that. And we've also started working on other media companies and other, I don't really think of them as companies, other projects, media projects that are going to be similar to TMI. So, for example, I want to start a project, a company where it's news and it's media, but in my native African language, which is Anang, and the sister brother languages that it has, which are Ibibio and Efik. I want it to be. I don't really know of a news website or a source that is really in a native African language, written and spoken and heard. I mean, in the written word, video, and audio. And I really want to do that, and I'm going to do that this next year. And other projects like that, which all of you hopefully will see come to life. That's the holding company part of Afangideh Media. I've really become convinced lately that human um, human perception is the asset, not houses, not cars, not clothes, not sneakers. Human perception is the asset. Human belief is the asset. And that whoever can make that their medium, whoever can change that and move that and manipulate that, not necessarily in a bad way, but who can move that the way they want to move it will win in business and in life over the next few decades. And so I really want to make that my home. Uh, Even in my studies in school, I've become more and more obsessed with what exactly is human perception? How much power does it have really? And who really controls it? Because when we think about our perceptions and our beliefs, we think that we control them. We think we decide what we believe and we decide what we think. But the more I study and the more I watch, I don't really think it's true. I think that a lot of what I think and what I believe and what you think and what you believe, we believe for reasons that we're not even aware of. And so when I think about media, I think about it as that. And especially when I think about Afangideh Media, I think about that company as a company where human perception will be shaped. That's what I did at TMI. That's what I will be doing with every project, every company within media that I start. And that's the holding company part. The client services part is where we will be doing that for other people. So we already have two or three clients, two clients that have already signed, one more who's sort of on the line, but I'm sure that they will sign. We want to fix just a basic problem of business, which is that you start a business, you start a company, and you have this great idea or this great service, or even if you're someone who wants to run for office or you're a public person, you don't quite know how to sell yourself or how to sell your product or how to sell your service. No matter how good you are or how good your product is or how good your service is, you don't know how to market. Um, and and the way that selling has been taught and has been thought about for a long time is very short-term focused and doesn't really help you. So sales has been taught as this thing where you meet face to face with someone or you call them and you try to persuade them to hand over some money to you. And the end of that transaction, one, it doesn't work a lot of times, and you can waste a lot of money trying to do that. But two, even when it does work, the customer, the person who you are getting money from, usually ends up feeling used and feeling dirty and feeling, scummy because they it's not a favorable experience for them. And I think that in the end, that's not going to work out well if you do that over and over and over and over again. It's just not going to be sustainable. People just aren't going to keep doing that, undergoing an experience that makes them feel like crap. And so we want to do marketing in a way that is more long-term focused, and we're going to do that by telling stories or by providing value. Those are the only two ways, really, to make people care about your company. You have to make people invest in your company and invest in you, not just with money, but invest here. And the only way you can do that is by providing them a favorable experience, by telling them a story about yourself, many stories about yourself, by being vulnerable, by providing value to them, free value to them. And through that, they become loyal. They become part of a family. They become part of an idea. And that can be really powerful. And so that's the kind of sales or marketing that we want to engage in. One of the clients that we have is someone who's been in business for a long time, but the perception of their company has really dwindled recently. And so we think that we can really help them restore that and make people think well about them again. That's not something that's going to happen through sales. It's not something you can do by direct calling or door to door. You have to tell a story. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be honest. And that's the kind of marketing that we want to do. So professionally, that's what I'm going to be doing all of 2019. I don't want to get into a position, which is the position I would get into if I got a job right out of college, where you're making money and a lot of money, yes, but you're not doing something you enjoy. And all this energy that I have and this ambition and whatever I have now, I know it's not going to be there forever. And so I really want to pour it while I have it into what I love to do. And this is one thing that I love to do. I want to try to see if I can survive all through next year on purely entrepreneurial pursuits. And if I can do that, then that's what I'll do for the rest of my life. That's my plan professionally. Obviously, there's stuff I'm going to be doing next year that's not professional. I want to have fun next year. I'm 20 years old. I've been taking myself very seriously the past few years. I've set goals and I've done my best. I've done my best to achieve them. Um, but maybe I've taken myself a little too seriously, and that's not a good thing either. All work and no play, you know the rest. So I want to set aside, I've already started setting aside certain parts of my day and certain parts of my week to be obsessively focused on self amusement and self enjoyment. And so I'm going to carry that out. I'm going to do a good job with that. I'm going to make sure that when it's those times, I am obsessed with having fun and having a lot of fun. And that's going to be good for me, I think. I'm going to get back into martial arts. Those of you who know me, like real, those of you who've been my friends since high school, know that before college, before poetry, before business, when I didn't even know what business was, didn't care, I was known as a martial artist. I loved being in the gym. I loved being in the dojo. I loved punching people. I loved getting punched in the face. Getting punched in the face is the best moment ever, because before it happens, you're so afraid of it happening. And then once it happens, you realize it's not that bad and that you could probably take a few more. And nothing breeds fearlessness like that does. And I love it so much. I loved it so much. I'm going to start doing it again in 2019. I want to start writing poetry again. I love writing poetry. I love performing poetry too, but I haven't gotten to do it as much because I've been, again, busy with academic and academic adjacent activities. So enough of that. I want to write poetry. I want to write prose as well, articles. I want to read. I haven't read a lot. It's sort of ironic. You're in school and you're learning and you're in lectures, but you don't really get to read. And so I want to read. I'm setting a challenge for myself to read a book a week next year and to really take notes and go in depth into every single book I read. I'm starting with this one right here. And so I'm really gonna I think I'm really gonna learn a lot from that. I think I'm gonna learn a lot more from reading books than I did from lectures, because I love reading and I'm really good at extracting information from books, whereas lectures to me were never really, no offense to my professors, but were never really that interesting. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be up to. Oh, final thing, I got admitted to, I was really not gonna do any school next year, but I got admitted to um, the MBA program at Faulkner. It's an executive MBA, it's online. And so I'm gonna do that. I think it's gonna be fun. I think I'm gonna learn a lot, but I don't think it's gonna be that stressful, especially not as stressful as the past 4 years academically. I think it's something that will be valuable to me, but not something that I will really struggle with. I think I'll do it pretty easily. So, and that should satisfy the parents who definitely want me to get a graduate degree and to continue my education, which is to be expected. Um, I know a lot of you, if you're watching this video, I haven't talked to you in a few years, and I really want to reconnect with people who I was really close with but haven't talked to in a while. Some of you have sent me encouraging messages, especially after graduation, and I've really appreciated that. So hit me up. I would love to reconnect. Let me know how your Christmas is going, how your college or school or whatever has been going. Would love to hear about it. Thank you so much. I'm gonna keep everyone posted on Afangideh Media, and because it's I've never been this excited about anything professionally, not any internship, not any job. I'm really ready to see what's gonna happen. If I really apply myself, all the hours I was putting into school and internship and so many different things, if I just pour all of them into this one thing, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see if I have the talent and the grit and the perseverance that's necessary for this. And if I don't, I can always go get a job later. That's the way I view it. So let me know what you think. Thank you for watching.